There you go. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today for the webinar. This is actually our first ever webinar, so hopefully all goes okay, no technical glitches. We're obviously going to cover how to improve your commercial kombucha production today. Particularly, we're going to cover the issues that are out there in the kombucha industry and most producers face, and how to solve those issues, particularly with using Manna-K. I'm Dennis Kelleher. I'm the founder and CEO of Good Culture Kombucha. Just going to let a couple more people in here. And I'm the founder and CEO of Good Culture Kombucha. So what are we going to cover today? We're going to cover a little intro to Good Culture Kombucha. We're also going to cover the top issues that face kombucha producers, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about Manna-K. Okay, we've got 4 more people in the waiting room. So a little bit about Good Culture Kombucha. We are the strategic supplier to about 150 kombucha brands globally, and we supply them with pre-fermented kombucha ingredients that we call Manna-K. We also supply a water kefir ingredient called Manna-K, but you know, Manna-K definitely makes up 95% of all our business. I started the business about 5 years ago. You know, very humble beginnings. This is me in the kitchen at home 5 years ago, hand filling samples of Manna-K to ship them out, you know, hand delivering them myself to the post office to ship them out to kombucha brands all over the world, or anybody who would listen to me about Manna-K at the time. You know, at that stage, I'd just left my job with Remedy Kombucha from Australia. I'd been working with them, setting up some divisions of their business and setting up their European business. And before that, I worked in quite a corporate job doing global sourcing and distribution for technology companies like Google and Amazon. So at this stage, after working for Remedy, you know, I had a really good sense of the kombucha market, where it was going, and you know, just how many brands were out there, you know, really working their butts off, trying to build businesses and really, you know, grow the industry. But the most common problem that I saw in the market was that a lot of kombucha brands really struggled with their production. And also I saw that the brands that were being really successful had really nailed their production. You know, they really got great quality products. They'd done an enormous amount of R&D to get there and invested big time. And you know, there was a real differentiator between the haves and the have-nots. So I guess we thought bringing Manna-K to the market would really kind of enable everybody else, you know, to have that success. So,
sorry, Dennis, we can't see your PowerPoint.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Oh, great. Here you go, technical glitches, but so yes, you know, that was the mission, to help a lot of kombucha brands be successful. And I guess at the core, what the vision and the mission of the business was to, one, help kombucha producers create amazing products that were truly scalable, and number 2, to set the highest possible quality standards we could for the kombucha industry to create really great products. And then number 3, you know, we have so many brands and producers out there that we work with that are amazingly mission-driven businesses, and you know, just, you know, to help them be successful. You know, it's all good to change the world, but if you go broke doing it, it's not really good for anybody. So it's about making them successful and enabling them to do the good things that they want to do. So flash forward 5 years, and things are working out pretty well at the moment. You know, we're supplying 150 brands now globally with kombucha every month. So they're using Manna-K in their products every week, every month. And we've got 4 warehouse locations. So we're in the US and in Europe, and we ship out globally from there. We've also got an amazing team here at Good Culture that supports our customers and helps them be successful every day. So that's enough about us for now for a little bit. One more is an example of some of the retailers that the brands we supply are stocked in, some of these retailers. So Walmart in the US, Safeway, Tesco and Sainsbury's in the UK, Kaufland and Aldi. These are in more European stores, Whole Foods, of course, as well. And this is growing and growing and growing all the time. Okay, a bit back to you, right? So I wanted to pose a question today, and that is, what is the big vision for your kombucha business over the next few years? If you think about the next 3 to 5 years and the kind of business you want to create and the brand you want to create, what kind of things have to happen for that vision to become a reality? And then particularly around the production of your kombucha, what kind of things have to be put in place for that vision to become successful? And then the second question is, around that production piece, what are the biggest challenges you see today in your production that could prevent your vision from becoming a reality? And then, are you willing to make those changes and do what's necessary to make that happen? There's lots of challenges with kombucha production, but over the last 5 years, we've spoken and helped hundreds of kombucha companies that we've got a little bit of experience in it now. So I'm just going to share like the top 6 issues that we see, the most common issues that nearly all kombucha producers, and I'm sure some of you listening are experiencing. So number 1, alcohol issues. Traditionally brewed kombucha can actually range anywhere between 0.5% of alcohol up to 3, even 4% alcohol. This is actually a really big issue for the whole industry. Particularly in the US, a lot of states and retailers are now positioning and taxing kombucha as an alcoholic product. And this is actually damaging to the whole category, when it's seen as an alcoholic product, unsuitable for children or for the whole family, it's really probably slowing down kombucha adoption, and it's definitely not good press. So number 2, inconsistent products. So, inconsistent taste, inconsistent quality is a big issue. We've often seen brands with like off flavors in their bottles or brews, exploding bottle issues, scobies in bottles even, which is really not a good experience for the consumer. And then, we've seen quite a few brands at this stage who had to do massive recalls on their products. There's one brand in particular in the UK that I can think of that had to recall a full massive production run that they did, and had to basically dump all the product, and that completely financially ruined their business, and they did not recover from that. So it's really, really unfortunate when that happens, and it doesn't have to happen if you put the right steps in place. So number 3 is shelf life. If you're really serious about growing your business, a lot of retailers kind of expect 6, 12 months or more shelf life on products, and especially drinks like kombucha, where a lot of brands really struggle to even get over a month with their products. Refrigerated supply chain is not always available in certain countries as well. So, it's important that you've got the right kind of shelf life to maintain for your kind of environment. Number 4, so the ability to scale up your fermentation capacity. For a lot of brands who kind of have their own breweries and built out their own facilities, can really, really struggle with this. I spoke to someone in Washington yesterday, and she was saying, in the summer, they just really struggle to keep up with the seasonal demand. They can never produce enough, they can never brew enough fast enough, and it's a constant struggle for them to keep up. And then obviously, of course, they've got to dip down into the winter again and ramp it back up in the summer, and they really, really struggle with that. And actually, the quicker you try brew your kombucha, the less quality it becomes as well. So cost control, number 5, cost control. Obviously, inflation is a massive issue for everybody right now globally. Energy costs are going through the roof, labor costs, every material. I can't think of a product or service or anything that we buy in good culture that hasn't gone up in some sort of cost in the last 12 months. And I'm sure all of you are experiencing the same thing. And then, of course, there's other costs like capital investment costs. Building out a new brewery from scratch is a really big investment. It takes a long time, but actually could also have no guarantee of a return. We see a lot of brands that also have to, and companies who have to get outside investment enable them to build out those production facilities, and have to give up a lot of equity for that. And I'm going to show you that that's actually not necessary to do it all. You can maybe not have to build out anything. Okay, and the number 6, the last thing, is time and effort. Brewing kombucha is hard. It's tough. It takes a long time. Producers often complain that they spend too much time in the brewery and not enough time with their customers or doing marketing, and so time is always a struggle. I guess they say time is your most valuable resource. So if you could get back a lot of your time, what could you do with that? Okay, so that's like the top 6 issues that really, really common to all kombucha companies. So now what I'm going to do is just talk a little bit about Manna-K and what that is. And I want to give you a little, stop sharing for a second. Okay, can you see me now? Okay. So I just wanted to share a little bit about what Manna-K is for a second. So this is a sample of Manna-K here that I've got in my hand, that I keep on my desk. So this is Manna-K. It looks like kombucha. It's a beautiful golden color. It is so Manna-K is a long-aged fermented kombucha. So it's been fermented for up to 6 months, and during that long fermentation period, it gets super strong in the organic acids of kombucha. So it becomes about 20 times stronger than the bottle you might find in the supermarket in terms of organic acids. It also, during the long fermentation, it also becomes super low in alcohol and in sugar. So the alcohol and sugar get completely fermented out. Yeah, it's organic. It's made with organic sencha green tea. It's really perfected, so every batch is exactly the same. What you get in this one is going to be the same as you get in the one next year, and it's super great and super reliable. So that's Manna-K. I think it's important I just give you a look at that. I'm just going to dive back into PowerPoint now and get back into the slides. Okay, so just a little bit more on Manna-K. So it's obviously tastes delicious. It's really proven now. We've got over 150 brands using it already, really successfully. It's in stock and distributed globally. We have technical experts on our team here. We've got amazing food technicians and scientists who can really fermentation experts who can really help you and advise you on your product and how to create the perfect thing for you and how to work with Manna-K. We have them largely free of charge. Within reason, of course. Manna-K has been R&D'd for at least 10 years at this stage, so it's really well matured in terms of a product and really perfected. It's kosher certified, it's halal certified, which does really well in the Middle East, in places like Dubai. The production facility is SQF or GFSI certified, so the team work exceptionally hard to make sure that it's always produced to the highest possible food safety standards in the world. It's always organic. Everything we do is organic, no compromises whatsoever on that. And then also I've put in here that it's supported by kombucha co-packers. So we've got quite a few brands now that don't own any production facilities, right? They design brands and they outsource them to co-packers, and they send the Manna-K and other ingredients there to be blended and produced and canned, and they distribute from there. We've got one particular brand, or there's quite a few, but there's one that comes to mind that developed a product during COVID, during lockdown, got it set up with a co-packer, and started selling just online sales during COVID. And they did over 1 million units of sales, bottles, in their first year alone. So that's just like a really good success story of someone who's used Manna-K, but outsourced their complete production. When we go back to the 12 or the 6 kind of issues that I covered earlier, Manna-K really does like solve all of those problems. It's completely like alcohol free and can help you to create a 0% alcohol product guaranteed. It can help you extend your shelf life, up to 1 year or beyond. You can easily scale up production because Manna-K is always available. You don't have to wait for it. We have quite a few brands who or producers who've 10x their brewery capacity. So there's some that have, there was one in particular actually that comes to mind. They'd hit the ceiling in terms of what they thought they could get out of their brewery capacity, and they were on the road to get investment in to build out new facilities and new production and fermentation areas. But instead, they went with Manna-K, and they started blending it with their own fermentation and brews. And instead of building out a new facility, they actually ended up 10xing the capacity of their existing brewery without having to buy any new equipment or any new facilities whatsoever. So that's, you can really make what you've got go a long way with Manna-K. You can reduce your production time quite considerably. So instead of waiting, 4 to 6 weeks for your fermentation, you can actually have Manna-K and produce in 1 day. So speed to market. And then of course, the big one is reducing your cost of production. So actually using Manna-K in your product instead of fermenting it yourself. Manna-K is about 1/4 the cost of actually producing your own kombucha. So it's extremely effective at helping you control your costs of your production. Okay. You're probably wondering, okay, what does it taste like? What does Manna-K taste like, and what would it be like? We call it like a neutral base. So it's like a standardized base that can be used in the broadest way possible. There's so many different types of products in the market now that have blended Manna-K in different ways to create all sorts of different styles of kombuchas that you wouldn't even know had Manna-K in them. So we've got Michelin star chefs that are producing really super premium wine style, like champagne style kombuchas as alternatives to alcohol. We've got, premium craft products, kombucha sodas or light kombuchas, even sugar-free kombuchas that are sweetened just with stevia. There's a few non-alcoholic spirit brands that we know of now using Manna-K. One of them in particular is a non-alcoholic gin company, and they're using Manna-K to add a fermented profile. They describe it as like a fermented profile that they just couldn't get from any other method, and it's really complementary to their product. We've also got a whole bunch of alcoholic hard kombuchas using Manna-K. Some people are blending Manna-K with beer and cider. And then there's also a really small number of companies using it in novel ways to create food products. If you're wondering how to produce some of these products and how kind of inspiration to dive in there, I would highly recommend downloading our free Manna-K guide, Kombucha Producer's Guide, from our website. It's 42 pages long. It's full of different recipes, production processes, tips that you could possibly need. There's loads in there that can be used for inspiration and really help you to up your kombucha game. Just one extract from that PDF is this recipe in there called the mainstream kombucha soda. This is a recipe we designed for as an example of, a kombucha. We might call it like a light kombucha also, that's like really accessible to like the broadest market possible. Really easy to produce, really great taste and flavor, low in sugar, can be really good for like outsourcing your production as well, or really scaling up. Yeah, that's just one example of something you can make. Manna-K in terms of formats available. We've really standardized on our product sizes, which helps a lot. So in terms of our smallest size is like 20-liter bag and box. So this is for, testing, development, product development, R&D, small scale trials. From 20-liter bag and box, you can actually produce 400 liters of kombucha. So it goes a really long way. These are actually available. We have them in stock both in the US and in Europe. They can be ordered like right now on our website, and we ship them, out with FedEx and UPS quite quickly. For scale up trials, we quite often put like 10 or 15 of these on a pallet and ship them out as well, which is quite easy. And then of course, for like ongoing production and normal run rate production, we have 1,000 liter totes or IBCs, and 1,000 liters of this can produce 20,000 liters of kombucha. We don't have these on our website for sale, but if these are our normal everyday stock that we ship out. For pricing on that and freight to your kind of location, just email hello@goodculturekombucha.com, and one of the team will get back to you like straight away on that, and get that for you and help you with that. In terms of locations, let me just flick to the next slide. We have 4 warehouse locations now. So our big US warehouse is in Cincinnati. It's a really great location for us. We're actually within 2 days of delivery of like 75% of the US population. So it's like a really great location. And then in Europe, we've actually got warehouses in Dublin, Ireland, in London, and our biggest European warehouse is in the Netherlands. And we actually we've shipped to every single country in Europe at this stage, both the bag and boxes and IBCs. It's always in stock. We can get it delivered within a few days. And we also keep about 3 months of reserve stock in every location as well. So to make sure we never run out, we can always meet your demands no matter what scale you are, or how fast you grow. So hope you've found that informative, and we'd love to hear about your kombucha project. And if you want to book a call with us, just go to the contact page on our website and just book a call. We make a time available every day for calls, and we love chatting to people and hear about your projects and collaborating and seeing how we can help you. Thank you. And if anyone's got any questions, just chuck them in the Zoom chat, and we can jump into those now. Okay, thank you.